Mary Magdalene is one of the most profound religious figures in all of Christianity. Behind Mary, the Mother of God, she is the most important woman in all of the New Testament. However, before she found Jesus, it was believed that Mary Magdalene was a sinner. But the reason so many people today are influenced by her is because she was the ultimate penitent who was profoundly changed through the mercy and grace of God. Many people in the Catholic Church see her complete conversion as an inspiration. Her story is one that gives all humanity hope. Since the beginning of Christianity, individuals have seen relics as a way to come closer to the saints and become closer to God. Relics are the parts of a saint's body or objects that they used or touched throughout their life. Many people still today pilgrimage to see the relics of their beloved saints. There is much debate about the history of Mary Magdalene's relics, in terms of authenticity and location. However, her relics have inspired pilgrims to travel from all over the world to observe her remains. Although she has passed, her relics give people hope, especially those captivated by her midlife conversion. Just being in the presence of the apostle to the apostles has a profound effect on their spirituality and faith in God. The history of Mary Magdalene's relics begins in Jerusalem, after the execution of St. James, when persecutions were amplified. Initially, Mary Magdalene was imprisoned with Lazarus, Martha, Saint Maximin, and a few other members of the Christian community. The Jews holding them captive placed them on a boat with no sail or rudder and abandoned them in the open sea. Miraculously, they survived and landed on the shores of Gaul, called Saintes Maries de la Mer. After arriving in France, they traveled by land to Marseille and preached the gospel. Eventually, Mary Magdalene retired to a cave in the mountains. There she lived for the last 30 years of her life. This cave became known as La Sambama, meaning Holy Cave. It is believed that when Mary Magdalene died, she was buried in Saint Maximin. For the next 1,000 years, there was much debate on whether her remains were moved or tampered with. The Cassian monks founded their monastery in Saint Maximin around the year 415, and they guarded the Magdalene relics. However, eventually the Saracens invaded France and destroyed all the Christian symbols they could find. Legend has it that the Cassian monks buried the remains of the tomb and their chapel so the invaders would be unable to destroy the invaluable relics. It wasn't until December 9th, 1279, when Charles II finally uncovered the remains of what he believed to be Saint Mary Magdalene. A few months later, the remains were transferred to the crypt, and from this point on, thousands of pilgrims have been coming to pay homage to Mary Magdalene. The Magdalene relics will forever have a lasting impact on the Catholic Church and its people. Father Bernard describes his experience of observing the relics. Quote, "My eyes have been able to contemplate the delicate head of Mary Magdalene, which is visible behind the screen in the crypt in St. Maximin. I'm not speaking of a veil or statue or some work of art, but the true head of Mary Magdalene, and each time I pray in the crypt, I remember that this is the woman that shared the ministry of Christ."